Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Rice News analyst, Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, my friend Ruben.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rufai. Colorful as ever, Victoria Tundu MKO Abiola. Looking every inch a diva, ready to rock this weekend. but I know you are very conscious of the COVID-19.
I don't know.
Efeni, take your headlines.
Looking every inch a diva.
Take your headlines, please.
Yes, Rufai, you had to applaud. Now, yes, it means let's clap for him in Yoruba language. That's what I just said. Now, the lead story of these day newspapers, Nigeria's newspaper of records. Analysts give quick recovery tips as Buhari forecasts second recession. President proposes 13.08 trillion budget for 2021. Lawan Bajabiamila promise speedy passage. The first paragraph of that story, economic and financial experts have suggested swift implementation of a combination of fiscal, structural, and investment policies to reduce the adverse effect of the looming second recession and get the economy on the path of a quick recovery. Sounds like a text from economic theory textbook. The hard work is the implementation. How we'll do this in the next 1 year will determine whether we go out of recession quickly or not. Now, the Vanguard newspaper reporting similar story. Budget 2021, brace up for another recession. Buhari, as federal government overshoots provision of fiscal responsibility, ramps up debt servicing, says second Niger bridge 46% completed, warns National Assembly against padding. I wonder why they should pad, because when the president read the National Assembly budget, aspect of the budget yesterday, they applauded so loudly that the president had to take it again for their assurance. So there should be no need for padding. The breakdown in front page of the Vanguard budget highlights power 198 billion, works and housing 404 billion, transportation 250 billion, defense 121 billion, agric 110 billion, water resources 153 billion, industry 51 billion, education 127 billion, in addition to UBEC, Universal Basic Education, 70 billion, health 132 billion, and of course NDDC 64 billion naira. Zonal intervention project 100 billion. Now, if we move over to the Guardian newspaper, yes, the same lead story, different angle, more loans as Buhari presents 13.08 trillion budget. Daily Sun, the subject you have discussed all morning, 5 killed, 26 houses, cars destroyed as gas explosion wrecks Lagos. Flood kills 36, displaces 470 in Sokoto. Yes, you discussed this all morning. All I can add, Ruben, is that we should not have more fire. You were saying, let's wait for the dry season market to be burning. No market will burn. I rebuke that, Ruben. But we must do the needful. Put safety guidelines and measures in place to avoid fire. But I'm also making a prophetic calling. Yeah. We will not see more fire before the end of the year, Ruben.
Amen. Yes. You are in a church mood this morning.
Yes, I mean, now, the Daily Trust newspaper, this is a major story. Uncertainty as INEC chairman, 5 commissioners, tenure ends November 9. Silence on renewal, appointment dangerous, says civil society organizations. We'll still have time, presidency. We'll still have time, presidency options for Buhari lawyers. Now, between now and November 9, appointment or renewal has to be made, for the chairman and 5 commissioners. It must be taken to the Council of State for approval before being sent to the Senate for confirmation. Do we have time between now and November 9? The presidency says there is time, but we'll watch. Now, if we look at the New Telegraph budget, the same story, the lead, but the second lead, Ondogoba, PDP in last-minute push for alliance. Opposition rejects OAU VC as returning officer. INEC to electoral officials, resist temptation. Now, if we just look at the foreign papers quickly before we come and discuss some of these, no, but before then, there is another paper we still have to look at. Okay, the foreign newspapers. The Independent newspaper of UK captured most of the stories occupying the front pages in the UK. Now, COVID rising, lockdown confusion. That's what they are reporting. Northern politicians hit out at lack of clarity on new measures. Number of serious cases on the rise. While the Washington Post has the story, Trump pulls out of second debate after it is moved online. I would have thought somebody who is given to tweeting all night, all day, should not be averse to debating online. But that is,
he needs a bump in the polls.
Yes, that is Trump for you. Now, if we have time to say one or two things on the story, Tundu, what will you want to say?
Which one?
Anyone you wish.
I don't know.
Okay, on the Trump.
On Trump,
Yes.
right. Trump is struggling in the polls. There's no reason for him to do this. I don't understand it. It's even going to be, when it was physical, when they were both in the room together, it was socially distanced. He wasn't able to sort of stand over Joe Biden the way he did with Hillary Clinton, you'll recall. He was acting then like some kind of silverback ape. It was really embarrassing to watch, trying to intimidate her physically. He wasn't even able to do that with Joe Biden because they were socially distanced. So now that it's been moved online, I don't see why he's refusing to participate. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's sort of like a child throwing their toys out of the pram at this point, because he actually needs a good debate. He does have a loyal base. He has people who support him. He needs to unify and galvanize those people, because even his staunchest supporters would admit that the last debate was somewhat disastrous for him. He lost his cool. He was hectoring his opponent, being a bully. It was really quite ugly. I would have expected him to, grab this opportunity with both hands, seeing as Michael Pence actually did quite well against Kamala Harris. But I don't understand Trump at this point.
Bullying his opponent is part of his tactics. You cannot do that online.
Well, I think the
Right.
Presidential Debates Commission should be commended for refusing to be intimidated by President Trump and his campaign manager, who have both accused the Presidential Debates Commission of favoring Joe Biden. Now, the Vice President Joe Biden has now decided that if President Trump does not show up on October 15, which is the next debate, then, of course, he will have a town hall meeting as an opportunity to further energize his supporters. The Trump campaign, they're suggesting October 22 and October 29, and they want in-person debate. But you can't blame the Presidential Debates Commission for saying this is a man whose status as a COVID-19 recovering patient is still unknown.
He's infected. He's infected.
Well,
that is his status today until proven otherwise.
Yes, his doctor says he's not out of the woods yet. So the Debates Commission does not want to take any risk. And I think that is the wise decision.
I just want to quickly pull this out for historical purposes. The first American debate between President Nixon and President Kennedy was a virtual debate. Nixon was in New York, Kennedy was in Cali.
But Nixon did very badly. Maybe that's why Trump is nervous.
Yeah.